Hello friends, in this video I will explain what the beginner should do when they are just getting into crypto. We will go over how to earn with and without capital and look at options are available to everyone without exception. Even if you are just entering the exchange for the first time with no technical knowledge. The first thing we need to do is choose an exchange. I recommend selecting an exchange depending on the region you live in. Personally, I do all my trades on Bybit because we are partners with the exchange, which allows us to solve any issues easily. Plus, everyone who registers using our link gets the opportunity to earn up to 30,000 USDT by completing various tasks on the exchange. You can see these on the homepage or when you click the link. As you can see, orders and the bonuses are available through our link. Also, every time you buy and sell crypto, a trading fee is applied. But through our link, all our subscribers automatically get a lifetime discount on trading fees. In the description below this video, you will find the link to Bybit and a detailed guide on how to set up your working account on the exchange in just 4 minutes and start trading. I recommend watching that video first and then come back here once your account is set up. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about the tools on the exchange that will allow us to earn money. We won't be looking at risky tools because this video is for beginners, so we won't be discussing futures trading. We will focus on the tools that allow you not only to earn but also to avoid losing money. If you are a beginner, stay away from futures for now. Let's get into the basics trading, specifically spot trading. Spot trading is the most basic type of trading on the exchange, where we buy and sell coins that will belong to us. For example, if we buy Bitcoin, it belongs to us and is stored in our exchange wallet. We can withdraw it to any exchange or any other wallet, meaning the coin is ours. If we were discussing futures trading, the coins would not belong to us. We would simply be opening a position on the exchange and speculating where the coin will go up or down. In spot trading, we will buy a real asset that we can store in a cold wallet and forget about for say 5-10 years. From all the available features, we just need to select the coin we want to buy or sell on the left side. For example, let's choose Ethereum. And on the right, we need to select what we want to do, buy or sell. If we choose to buy, then select Market. Here is so that you don't have to fill all these fields, which may seem complicated to you at first. Here you need to specify the price at which you want to buy. You can press Market to buy at the current market price and simply indicate the dollar amount you want to spend. Let's say 100 Ethereum. Buy Ethereum. That's it. Ethereum is bought and now it's in our wallet. Go to Assets section and from here go to Unified Trading Account. Here we will see the Ethereum we just purchased. I can transfer it to the funding account and then, for example, withdraw it entirely from the exchange. The Unified Trading Account is for trading. The funding account is for storing funds. This separation is made so that we don't accidentally buy more than we intended. But spot trading, which is what we just did by buying Ethereum, is only the tip of the iceberg. In reality, there is much more, and there are many tools you can use to profit. In the spot trading section, for example, when you are go to the same Ethereum, on the right, there is a tools section. There are additional tools available here in spot trading. We are interested in the spot grid bot. Click on it, and here we have the AI strategy and the manual strategy, which we can configure ourselves. I recommend choosing manual. It's pretty simple. When we choose manual, we need to set the upper and lower bounds of the range in which the bot will trade. So we look at where Ethereum has been recently if we are configuring the bot for Ethereum. It has been, for example, in a range between 1,500 and 3,800. Number of grids. Let's say we put 5 grids here and then set it show the grid. The number of grids refers to the number of levels at which the bot will buy or sell. In this case, Ethereum. Here, where the green grid is, the bot will buy Ethereum. And where the red grid is, the bot will sell Ethereum. In this case, these grids are placed at quite a large distance from each other. And it says here that the interval is 460 USDT, meaning that Ethereum's price needs to move $460 for it to go from one level to another. But when the price moves from one interval to another, we will earn between 13 to 30%, as shown here. That's quite a good profit, but at the same time, the price needs to cover a fairly large range. The price could rise a bit, then fall again, and it could take several months for it to move from one of your levels to next. Therefore, it's better to specify more grids. If we set, for example, 50 grids, we will see that the range becomes smaller while the number of grids increases. But now the price has to cover a much smaller range for you to lock in a profit. The profit will now be just 1 to 3%, and the interval for the one grid will be $46. So the price only needs to move $46 for you to buy or sell Ethereum. For example, if I now put 200 here and click Create Grid, meaning I will create a bot, in the future it will appear here at the bottom. And I will be able to disable it here as well. I can press the delete button and remove this bot. Now my $200 will be divided into 2 parts. That is, no matter how much you invest, your deposit will split into 2 parts. In my case, 100 will be in Ethereum and 100 will be in USDT. When Ethereum drops, it will be bought with the USDT from the portion that is in USDT. When Ethereum rises in price, it will be sold from the portion that is in Ethereum, meaning my deposit is initially split in 2 parts. Therefore, when Ethereum goes up, it will sell at each of these red levels, on each of these red grid lines, and I will have more USDT, more dollars. When Ethereum falls, it will buy at each of these green grid lines. And accordingly, when Ethereum rises, I will have more dollars because Ethereum is sold and I receive USDT. When Ethereum falls, I will have more Ethereum. Due to the fact that the price is just moving sideways, up and down, I simply accumulate either Ethereum or USDT. If you hold a certain coin long term and you want to earn extra from it, you can use trading bots to do this. But there is one nuance here. What happens if the price moves outside of this range, either higher or lower? Actually, nothing will happen. You won't lose your money. your funds will remain, but the bot will stop trading. What happens if the price goes higher? If the price goes higher, you will end up with dollars. That is, you will have sold all your Ethereums during the entire period of the price rise. And you will have a lot of money. Well, on one hand, that's good. But on the other hand, you will have exited your position in Ethereum. So Ethereum will continue to rise, but you will have finished selling it at this higher level. If Ethereum drops and goes below this range, the risk here is that you will simply accumulate a lot of Ethereum. That is, all this time you will be buying Ethereum, therefore you need to choose a coin you are willing to hold for a long term. If you are comfortable holding Ethereum, set up the bot for Ethereum. If you prefer Bitcoin, set it up for Bitcoin. Try not to pick coins that may potentially fall, especially volatile ones. I generally recommend beginners to set bots for Bitcoin or Ethereum, because if you configure a bot for a coin like OP or STRK, there is a potential that the coin could drop in a value by half and you can't predict its range. If Bitcoin has a certain range in which it trades or Ethereum has this range, not all coins, especially altcoins, have this. If Bitcoin drops by 10%, some altcoins could drop by half, for instance. In essence, trading bots automate the trading you could do manually. You could buy low, sell high, and do this constantly. Trading bots do this for you. This isn't a magical tool that guarantees profits. No, that's not the case here. This is a tool where you can make money but also lose it. However, if you set up trading bots on the spot market, for example, spot trading, you select it here and configure the bot here, then you won't lose your money. You will either have more Ethereum or more USDT. In dollar terms, you could potentially lose, but you still have Ethereum, which could rise in value later. So in this case, if Ethereum drops and you buy it, you will become a long-term investor in Ethereum. When you set up bots on futures, there is a risk of losing money because futures have a concept of a liquidation price. When this price is reached, your funds will be liquidated, meaning you lose all your money. However, on the spot market, this doesn't happen. Your funds are never liquidated. No matter where the price goes, you will always be left with either Ethereum or USDT. There are more advanced versions of trading bots. We have a special channel with instructions on how this all works. In this channel, we post our results almost daily along with bot settings. If you are interested, there is a video tutorial in the description that explains how to set up everything and how it works. Next, in the trade section, there is SpotX area, which offers many tools for earning on coin listings. When a new coin starts trading on the exchange, you can profit from this. For example, the most well-known method is the Launchpad. In the Launchpad section, you can make money when a token gets listed on the exchange, when the project first enters the exchange. You can get the project tokens almost for free. For instance, the price here was 3 cents for LFT coin when the project was listed. Currently, the price is 2 cents. That's funny because the price is lower than the listing price, right? But what's interesting is that within the first 24 hours, the project price grew to $0.50. So you could have sold it for several times the profit. I recommend selling on Launchpads within the first few days after the token is listed, because holding the token for a longer period is very risky. In the first few days, as soon as token hits the exchange, its price is boosted by market maker, a company that helps the exchange and possibly the token's marketing team to rise the token price. You can profit from this by selling it in the first few days. Afterwards, as you can see, not all tokens rise again. Yes, of course, some tokens continue to grow, but for example, this one is now cheaper than it was at the initial listing price. But you could have made a profit during the first week without waiting for it to drop. To participate in the Spot X section, you would need to participate using MNT or USDT. You can click Expand here. Right now there is no active launch pads, but we can look at those that have already passed and see what results they have. In the MNT distribution options, you are guaranteed to receive project tokens, but the amount is limited because many people want to get tokens too. On average, the number of distributed tokens per person was 219 tokens. If you calculate it at $0.50 per token, they distributed around $100 worth of tokens per person. So this money that you essentially receive for free because the price was very low. With USDT, you are not guaranteed to receive the tokens. You get them through a lottery, meaning you are assigned a ticket number. If your ticket wins, you receive a significantly larger number of tokens. For example, here the price for a winning ticket is 500 LFT tokens. So on average, they distributed 212 LFT tokens here, while 500 LFT were given for the winning tickets, but of course it's not guaranteed. The chance of winning was 4%. This whole lottery system is set up to distribute the entire pool, as there are more people wanting token than the available amount, so this lottery format is used. If you don't win, your $100 simply be returned to you. So, the 100 is just like a check. It shows that you have the funds and are participating. You are not risking your money here. It's just frozen for a certain period and then it's returned to you. However, there is a risk when you buy MNT tokens because their price may rise before the launchpad, as everyone is buying them, but they could drop in price after the launchpad. Therefore, if you're buying MNT, be careful and only invest as much as you're willing to hold long term. Because it's quite possible that when you go to sell, the price will already dropped. This happens because people buy before the launchpad and sell afterward. It's similar to what happens with dividends and stocks. In the stock market, prices rise before dividend payouts and fall after the dividends are paid. The next tool is copy trading. It's located in the tools section under copy trading. Here there is a list of traders with open statistics. You can open each one and check their performance over a certain period. You can subscribe to them, allocate a specific amount, and all their trades will be copied to your account. I could go into more details here, but I have a great standalone video where I explained in full detail how to copy trades work on Bybit. You will find the link to this video in the description under this one. That's all for today. Thanks so much for your attention, and I hope one of the tools I shared in this video will be helpful to you. Goodbye, everyone.